Very
and things of
often.
that nature.
Very often. Yeah, I mean, especially now, it's just like I feel like, there's so much happening. Like I feel like every month. Um, it's just like every time something like I guess awful happens in the news cycle or that we see, it's just like I do take that time to just be like, I'm alive, I'm safe, I have a place to live, I have food, like I got a lot to be grateful for.
And some people are looking at that shit like, better than me. Shoot, that looks kind of tough,
Mm,
man. Yes, it's an interesting time because it's like, well, for me, it's a whole lot going on, and absolutely positively nothing fucking happening at the same damn time.
yeah, yeah.
I guess it depends on what your mission is, if you have one at all,
Mm,
what your purpose is, if you
hmm
it like if you're moving like a person of purpose at all.
hmm
So for some people, they've been busy. Me, you, I'm sure, because stagnation is an enemy of mine.
hmm
Um, we're not buds. I don't fuck with stagnation
hmm
or anything of that nature. So, stay in the gym. I'm sure
Yeah,
you've been in the gym, you've been in your bag creatively. You know what I'm
doing my
saying?
home workouts, doing what I can.
Yo, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Right. So I meant like a metaphorical gym, but also
yeah, sure,
you
sure.
also the physical one. Yeah, like straight up. Like I just trained up, just for whatever it's going to be because we're not back at full tilt until we just are. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? I don't think that
hmm
no one knows until they do. Um, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, like that's interesting. It's I've learned a lot.
that's
I've
good.
learned a lot.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot. Um, what have you realized about yourself, if anything?
During this whole time, I'd say the probably one of the bigger things is like I really am my own enemy, my own worst enemy,
Mm-hmm.
and that to get things done, it is still up to me, you know. There's a lot of things that as actors we have that are out of our hands, and I feel like, living that life for years now already kind of starts like forcing us to find different ways to take, you know, our lives and our fates and matters into our own hands as much as we can. But I feel like with the pandemic too, like um, there are so many things that we have to do that we can't wait for people to give it to us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we just gotta find every venue that we can, turn every stone over, um, so that we can do our best to stand on our own 2 feet and then help others come up with us.
Have you found that you've gotten even deeper into your focus, like just deeper into your bag when things just became very simplified real fast? It just became
Yeah,
simple. Wants and needs, super simple. It's like, okay, a lot of shit fell off that didn't need to be there to begin with. And
yeah,
then a lot of things that were essential just got augmented in its importance,
yeah, for
you know?
sure, for sure.
It's like, damn, that shit never did matter, did it? And then it's like, you know what? The fundamentals, damn.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just sharpen the blade. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
That way the cut's clean every time
Yeah,
with flawless, peerless technique. You
yeah.
know, I've been on some
Just
Amy Jo Berman
mm.
shit.
Oh, nice.
You
Fast
know,
track, I think. I know, I can't remember
we've
her
been
brand.
doing. I've been working on the audition rock star
Mm.
joints. Uh, something domination. She likes her the
Epic
phrases and
names and
terms and
stuff.
shit.
Yeah.
The some epic and amazing and world beating. But watching a lot of UFC, a lot of
Nice.
fights, per usual, but even more so now because I mean, at one point it was like the only sport in the world going on because no one else could figure out how to do it.
Right.
I'm not sure if you watch sports or fights or not.
Not too much here and there. Maybe some highlight clips will pop up on YouTube or Twitter or something.
Hmm. I see you have a GT racing gaming chair there.
Yeah. I don't know. This is like some random, like, I don't even know if it's a knockoff brand. I found it on Amazon for relatively cheap,
Hmm.
compared to like the like super expensive ones that I guess everyone uses. But yeah, I feel like I mean I am a big gamer myself, but also my previous chair was one of those what do you the medicine ball chairs.
Oh shit. What does that look like? I'm trying to visualize.
It's literally just a medicine ball that you shove into like this plastic like holder with like this miniature back that you don't even use technically because you're supposed to sit up straight on that thing. And I bought it like years ago when I first moved out here because I saw someone use it. And I was like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I could buy a chair to help me like maintain my core so that I sit up straight. But then like if I'm not focused, I'm gonna slouch. I end up slouching anyway. So then so then that's for one, that's not good. And two, I finally just sat and realized, ironically, when I was trying to improve my own gaming, that like that chair was way too high for my own desk. So I was actually leaning forward, and my arms were too high for the desk, and so I think that was adding to like just stress in the shoulder muscles and stuff, and just kind of like rounding my shoulders forward. So, um, when I finally realized that I got a new chair, got a gamer chair that luckily turned out to be just nearly perfect for my desk height and my arm positioning, and just shove that medicine ball sucker out in the living room. Let someone else deal with that.
I didn't realize how important the proper chair was until you get to a point like you have injuries or this or that, or
Hmm.
you're gaming more and more, and then you're like, one thing that happens is your body compensates, I think, and then
Hmm.
you establish this normalcy,
Yeah.
and you believe that this is the way that you're supposed to feel
Hmm.
until you get some real shit
Yeah. Exactly.
that's designed for you. It's
Yeah.
ergonomically sound, and then
Hmm.
you're like, I'm like sitting on Nimbus right now. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm, I'm like Goku on Nimbus, bro. I understand why he's always so smiley faced when he's on this cloud. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. Lumbar support? Yes, please. Brr, brr,
Right.
brr. It's incredible, man. I just
Mm.
got what is it? It's a Secret Labs, a Titan. But I was like, man, I will never not get a dope chair again, or just something that has ergonomics in mind,
Right.
at any
Yeah.
price point, but just
Hmm.
some company that has your long term, like your longevity in mind,
Hmm.
like with those features. Even like the armrests.
Hmm.
I never thought of things like armrests and where your arms rest.
Hmm.
But it's got the 4D, not four the four dimensions, but four directions. I know the people mix that up probably. I would have. I was like, four, this thing moves in four dimensions. This is crazy. What? You know what I'm saying? But no, that wasn't the case. So I was I'm like, okay, so what does the D mean? And it was like directions. I was like, of course it does. Of course. Yeah, man. What are you playing? What have you been playing?
Oh man. Well, I actually just started streaming on Twitch
Me
like a few weeks
too.
ago. Oh,
How's it
nice.
going? How's it going, man?
It's good. Um, it's been super fun. Um, Getting to understand the platform, the community, um, and like also what I want to play and I want what other people would want to watch me play.
Mm-hmm.
Because the original inspiration was weird because of pandemic. I was playing Call of Duty Warzone like every night with my friends for like 2 months, 3 months straight, just for months. And we're like, should we stream this? I mean, we're doing it every night, so why don't we just put it online as well? And for me, I was like, nah, that's not for me. That's not for me. I've gone live and on like Instagram and stuff. It's weird. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but eventually, there was yeah, like just the little waterfall snowball effect. Like someone like pushed one person to do it, and that person did it, and it's like, all right, fine, 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 I'll do it. And we all kind of jumped on together. Um, but as it turns out, no one wants to watch someone else play Call of Duty for hours on end unless they like really want to see that person, I think. At least for me, because like I started out with like no followers. I don't think like I'm okay at it. I'm not like a pro level, and I feel like if people want to watch like sports, like someone perform at the optimum level, then they're gonna watch the pros.
Mhm.
So then, like, why would they want to come watch me? So they had a lot of like soul searching and trying to figure out like what can I bring to the table that would make me unique to, all the other hundreds of thousands of other streamers out there. Um, Especially when I'm also if I'm playing Call of Duty and I want to like get wins or kills or something, like I'm not focusing on like interacting with my chat. So I'm just like slack jawed and shooting at things, and
trans
just be like,
just
yeah,
transfixed.
just like all right, just being really focused, and then finally be like, ah, we got that, and then be like, oh right, yeah, the thing you asked me 10 minutes ago. Oh, and the person's not even in the chat anymore, probably because I was too focused on the gaming. So yeah, I've been branching off to just do other stuff that's just more entertaining, but also can add to the add to being an actor. So recently I started trying out some Dead by Daylight,
What is that?
which is so this is a really interesting game. It's basically a 4v1 like it's like a slasher film simulator, I guess you could call it.
Okay.
So like the one player is the killer and there's four survivors. And so the person playing the killer gets to choose from like both kind of archetypal like villains from slasher films or actual like Mike Myers is a downloadable what's it called? It's like a purchasable add-on. What's his name? Freddy Krueger. Or else they kind of created just like archetypal, like the hillbilly. He runs around with a chainsaw and a hammer and like can sprint with a chainsaw, or like a ghost that can go invisible and stuff. And
A
so
ghost that can go invisible.
yeah,
Imagine that.
imagine that. He like hits a bell and becomes invisible. And so the
Perfect.
killer So the killer, yeah, basically hunts down the four survivors and just tries to kill them all. And then the four survivors are like the stereotypical kind of like, the slasher movie survivors. Then they also kind of brought some people from like the Stranger Things.
Mhm.
Nancy Wheeler and Steve Harrington from Stranger Things are like characters you can buy. Otherwise, it's just like a diverse group of people that like just happen to screw up in a situation and they're ready to like try to survive. But they also have their own perks and stuff. And so it becomes like a very strategic game. But then I also like, because I'm streaming it, then I get to like, I'll play the hillbilly and then just like make up some weird backstory and put on the hillbilly accent and run around with my chainsaw and try to slash at the people coming from my mother's petunias or something. And just do
Mhm.
like, just have fun with it and just try to entertain the people watching me for that.
This is an interesting point. So I want to circle back around. Well, we're still in the realm. So when it comes to that Twitch shit, I was
Hmm.
trying to figure out the same thing. I was like,
Hmm.
okay. I was like, one, I don't have Saltine's time. I don't know if he still games or Ninja's time
Hmm.
to become ninja like when
Right.
it comes to a singular game. Because one, I like to stream in a variety. So
Sure.
I like to play what I'm loving in
Yeah.
that time and in that moment because everyone's going to get more out of that.
Hmm.
Two, I was like, how can I train?
Hmm.
How could this? And I think about this all the time with kung fu, with Wing Chun, everything. I think in the same along the same lines.
Hmm.
How can this become training for me? How can I improve in other realms, other arenas, and just drag these attributes over here and drop them over there? And with what I'm doing over here, benefit me over there, and what I'm doing over there, benefit me right back over here. And it's all a part of the same ecosystem of improvement.
Yeah.
Um, with the Twitch, I'm like, well, I'm a I'm a fucking performer.
Hmm.
Okay, I have those things going, and you have those things going that a lot of people, the majority of cats, don't have.
Hmm.
So some that's what they have to lean into and lean on is that they're dope at this game, they're the best at the game, they're on the leaderboards of this game, and so it's that competitive nature.
Yeah.
So people watch mastery, they're tuning in for mastery.
Hmm.
Okay, that's cool. Some people want to be entertained. Some people, most people, everyone wants to be entertained,
Hmm.
right? So that was entertaining to them. This dude's hilarious. I don't know what he's going to say, like when he's going to say it. It's sometimes some streams I watch, it's the character mix.
Hmm.
Sometimes they do squad streaming, and I'm like, I love the chemistry between the people playing the game. I don't
Yeah.
give a shit about Warzone, but what I
Hmm.
do like give a shit about is listening to the worst fire team ever. The worst fire
Right.
team ever. Eric
Yeah.
Griffin and like the homies, like the banter. Like you tune in and you're like a fly on the wall.
Hmm.
You're a part of this cool conversation. You know what I'm saying? And so I was
Hmm.
like, okay, okay, okay. Treat it like a cafeteria. Treat it like the cool part of the party. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And it's like, hey man, just be the act that attracts. And that takes me back to a mentor of mine at Syracuse, not the Rick Wright Jr. He's like, look, just be an act that attracts. And that just echoes, now more than ever. I was like, just trying to
Hmm.
figure out, okay, damn, I didn't get so good at this game. It's like, nah, be sufficient though, be proficient. But
Hmm.
aside from that, lean into your gifts.
Yeah.
That's what they'll show up for you.
Hmm.
And that's what makes your stream uniquely yours, or what you do.
Hmm.
Um, a mom and pop shop that they have to travel to, Kickapoo, Missouri to visit to get the items that they want.
Yeah.
That's more specific.
Hmm.
And so now I just have a ball. Some people want to show up and hang out, cool. You know what I'm saying? And if they want to
Yeah.
dip, fantastic, you'll win their style. But eventually your tribe finds you.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So the search really isn't even external or via your environment. That search is internal. Like you just mentioned it. You were like, man, I started the soul search. See, your search went from external and then in the environment, like the answer was out there. No, the answer was all here all along. Hide in plain sight, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, man. Like now it's a fun thing, and probably for me at least, just like when you're on set, the cameras disappear and you're
Hmm.
just in your element.
Hmm.
And people feel that energy. They're like, man,
Hmm.
like they're in the zone. Now, one thing technically that we do get better at, need to get better at, me, at least I'm speaking for me, was like monitoring the stream. Like there's some cool shit, and I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but like there's a setting on Twitch or on your PS4, whatever you're using, where you can have what the stream is saying
Hmm.
audibly play through your earphones,
Mm.
through your cans. So
Like text to speech.
yes, text to speech. I was trying to figure out a way to say that shit. But yeah, yeah. So when you go text to speech, the algorithm is pretty good. The AI is really good at articulating, so you hear it clearly.
That's great.
And then from that, you're just responding. So it's a nice flow. You ain't got to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like last night, I was figuring that out, and then we had this mega quake, and I was like, okay, because
Oh yeah.
I was in the middle of a stream, bro.
Oh man,
I was
yeah.
playing the Ghost of
Shoot.
Tsushima dude in the
Right.
zone. I was talking to a
Oh my
homie
goodness.
who's watching the stream. He's in Oregon. He's in
Mm.
Portland. I'm like,
Ah.
wait. Okay. But I was at peace. That was a good
That was
test.
a shaker. That was. Oh my
That was
goodness.
crazy, man. My light almost fell down. It was,
Oh yeah.
it's elevated.
I just jumped under my desk. Got a
I was
solid like
chilling. I
IQ
wasn't
test.
budging. I'm like, well, this is, you know what, man? If I perish, if it's this way, I'm cozy as fuck. Not on my
That's
desk, like,
good.
yo. But I feel you.
No, I was under. I was like, if I get stuck under here, it's gonna be bad.
You know
It's
what I'm
gonna be bad. I'm
saying?
not
I
feeling
was
very
like,
good.
man, you know what, man? If I pass away in this damn Secret Labs Titan, this as cozy a death as you could fucking have. In the middle of a stream, like you're doing what you love to do, like you're playing your favorite game,
Yeah.
someone's watching.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. I'm at it right now. I'm cozy as fuck right now. I'm playing the game that I love to play. This is fine. I'm at peace. Oh, all right. Weird circumstances, weird times, but
Yeah.
hey, they'll be they'll be talking about us. They'll be talking about us for sure. This part of history, unforgettable.
Mm.
So you're playing the day before
There's Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight. I fucked that
Um,
up.
super popular one called Fall Guys has come out recently, which is
Mm-hmm.
like it's like a what do you even call it? It's like just one of those like game shows that people go on like what's it called? It's like Ninja Warrior except everyone is playing and you just have like little obstacles and like things that are spinning you have to jump over or like grab like tails off of each other or whatever. Um, but it's all wrapped up in this super bubbly bubblegum colorful like super cheery atmosphere, super cutesy atmosphere. And that got super popular, super fast. That one's fun to play with friends because playing alone, it's just like I don't know, just it's just too much for me. After
So
like 30 minutes, I'm just like,
so it's a party game
yeah,
more
it's a party
so.
game.
Like Chameleon Twist used to be for N64. You know what I'm saying?
I've
Poi
never
Poi
played
for
that one.
PlayStation. I used to love the
Probably,
party
I've
games.
never played those. Yeah, that's a party game. Among Us is super popular now as well. That's a great, but that has to be multiplayer. But it's basically like playing Mafia, except with like in a game.
Hmm.
So, Mafia where you like two people are the Mafia members, and then everyone else is just what's it called? Townspeople, and there's like one detective or whatever. And so that's the party game. But then Among Us is like a visual game version where people can run around and do tasks in a space station. But then there's like one or two imposters, depending on your game rules, that can like murder people throughout the game. And everyone just has to, crew members have to just try to figure out who the imposters are, whereas the imposters have to kill everyone.
Mm.
Yeah.
There was a party game. Um, like this is literally a party game though, but it is on the PS4. That's where a buddy of mine, a good friend of mine, James Cronin. Shout out to James Cronin. Um, it's a game called Fibbage.
Mm. I've
Fibbage.
heard the
Fibbage.
name. Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
the name.
Fibbage is a blast, man. Like whenever we would, this is pre-COVID times,
Hmm.
when society was doing its thing.
Yeah.
We would get together and like that would be the go-to.
Mm.
You like eventually like you eat mad food, and then it was like, okay, Fibbage, yeah, let's do some Fibbage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A bunch of random things, like random games, is even difficult to explain, but it's a blast.
Mm.
Yeah,
Nice.
like it's a lot of mind stuff. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Showing how much you know or what's missing from this thing, or
Mm.
that sort of
Oh, that
thing.
sounds fun.
But yeah, man, like for me, it's been a lot of
Oh, it's a Jackbox game. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Nice. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
love
like,
Jackbox.
and then so people can take their phones.
Hmm. Yeah, just connect and then type the code in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I played
Mhm.
Jackbox. Yeah, yeah. I haven't played
Okay,
Fibbage on the Jackbox games though.
play Fibbage, man. It's a
Yeah.
good time when
Fib till you win trivia. Okay.
yes, it's a trivia, and when we're
Mm.
released from this prison colony, well,
Mm.
yeah, we'll be able to do some Fibbage. And like Fibbage is fun, and it's like something that you can play for hours.
Mm.
It's great to build with your people. It's great to build with your people. How do you like those? What are those cloud alphas?
Oh, yeah, yeah. These are they're solid. I feel like they're heavier than I'd like, so sometimes wearing them for too long makes my neck feel all kind of crazy.
Mm,
So I'd like to get the yeah, I don't think these are the cloud alphas. These are are they the cloud
the
alphas?
stingers.
No, I think they are cloud alphas. Yeah, HyperX Cloud Alpha 2?
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know the exact ones.
some
They're
quality
solid. They're solid
cans.
overall. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they were a gift, and so I took them and I wore them, and they were definitely better than my old ones. So I definitely stick with these. But yeah, the audio quality is really good. Definitely, audio quality is really good.
What did you have before those?
I think,
We're talking about headphones, y'all, audio listeners.
yeah, I can't remember. I bought them so long ago. Yeah, they were just some like kind of collapsible, like they were still like cans, and then they had like a little foldable mic thing
Oh,
that came up and down. But they were all right. They were fine. But then these ones just felt better to use overall. So I just got these, used these.
man, it's funny how like you don't notice off of the rip, like when you're first hopping into stuff, like you
Hmm.
really want to get into things, and it's like, hey, all right, so I need headphones. Okay, all right, I'll get some headphones.
Hmm.
And then you don't want to spend the time to save the money needed to get what you need to get
Mm.
to properly experience the game or the movie that you're watching.
Right.
And like there's levels to this shit.
Yeah.
Like when you hear some like Steel Series Arctis sevens
Hmm.
versus, you know what I'm saying? I had some Siberias,
Hmm.
which were cool, but you realize that there's levels to this shit when you
Mm,
get like, like what you got, like the Hyper Cloud Alphas or like the Arctis Pros, some shit like that. You hear the surrounds, like, like the virtual surround, because I have some Nubwo N12s,
mm,
which are pretty incredible. But what you feel is like when you wear like different headsets, you're like, oh, the build quality is something you should also look at, because if
yeah,
you're using
yeah,
this every day,
yep,
you could just snap
yep.
eventually, or like some, when you get them for a nice price and they sound great for the price, usually you got to pay attention to the build quality, because usually
Mm.
you get what you pay for as far as the build. So it sounds great until now there's no more sound. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Right.
Siberians, they just got real quiet. And I was like, damn, it's turned up all the way, but this is as far as shit's like, as far as
Hmm.
it's about to go. I did pay $19.46 for these.
Oh no.
Okay. I can't even be upset. I can't be mad. Shout
Right.
out to Siberia for lasting for as long as they did. They did the best that they could. I understand. So that's probably like their market. They're like, man, we don't pay nothing to make these, and you don't pay nothing to get them. So
Right.
could you possibly complain? The LEDs never lit up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Raw, yeah, bro. Never. Like from day one.
Oh well.
But it's just one of them things. It's like, nah, spend you a bill, and those would be your cans from here on out, until you just decide
Mm.
to get something a little more higher end.
Yeah, audio stuff also is always costs a lot.
It
It's
does.
always good quality stuff. Yeah.
Oh man, I'll never go back, man. I got the audio interface, man, and then I got the like Rode mics. So I'm like, all right,
Mm.
I just quit shortchanging myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when you think of your expression,
Hmm.
just expressing yourself, it's like, all right, I should probably be captured in as high quality a way as possible if I can help it.
Yeah.
That way, I'm understood or interpreted in as good a way as possible. I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's pretty much been a discovery like throughout quarantine as well. It's like, yeah,
Mm.
quality, get some fucking quality, but
Yeah.
also do your research, because you can get quality at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to pay for that shit to get it.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's been some interesting things I've been picking up along the way. It's been a lot of
Yeah.
UFC 4 for me, a lot of NBA 2K, because you can play with your brothers.
Right. Right. Right.
Oh shit, run run the courts in the playground,
Mm.
that sort of thing. Haven't played Destiny in a minute. Have you ever played Destiny?
I played Destiny 2 for a little bit.
Yeah,
That was
Forsaken.
no, I don't think I even got that far. I
Oh,
just
okay,
played it.
okay.
I think I got it at launch and we played for like a month and then
Mm.
I got tired of it for sure.
It it get kind of stale.
For me, it did. I mean, there's still people playing it now, so I feel like it's either you're into looter shooters or they have been, I guess, adding more stuff or upgrading stuff. I do know there were sections that you had to like pay extra to get,
Hmm.
and I was like, I don't like it enough to like I don't want to pay like another 30 bucks or something to unlock the MMO aspects of it so that I can do more looting with my friends. So I'm gonna not. And then we all kind of fell off the wagon anyway.
Man, it's funny. NBA 2K, um, one for a basketball game, it's much more than that now.
Mm.
I'm not sure if you played it. Doesn't seem like you can relate, but uh, NBA 2K is like an RPG. It's
Oh,
got this
cool.
whole world that everyone exists in. So pretty much it's like an augmented reality kind of thing where
Okay.
like you go off and do your adult shit, your man shit, your woman shit, whatever you're doing. Like you deal with the kids or the fam, you deal with your day, your job, your career, what have you. But you know that everyone's meeting up, not at the bar, especially today. You're meeting up on the playground, a virtual playground. Like you're meeting up in the NBA 2K20 world or the 2K21 world. I'm picking that up here soon. But that's where you meet. And so it's like, and we're in three different time zones, me, Mark, and Chuck. Those are my brothers. Mark is 3 hours in the future.
Hmm.
We're in the past, and then Chuck is in Denver, so he's an hour ahead of me. So
Mm.
we got to coordinate between three time zones to
Yeah.
make this shit pop. Then by the time we get going, Mark only got about shit 2 good hours in him left because
Right.
it's like 1 o'clock his time,
Yeah.
midnight his time. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that's cool, man. Like it's getting us through big
Nice.
time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a lot of that. What else? Oh, what are your favorite games that you've played this year? I know Final
This
Fantasy
year.
VII is there for me.
Nice.
That and Ghost.
Haven't picked that up yet. Yeah, it's like all the PS4 like exclusive, or at least the PS4 games. Final Fantasy, um, Ghost of Tsushima, that I've been waiting for, that I want, but there's just been too many other things as well, I guess. I just this week played through Detroit Become Human, and that was really interesting. I quite enjoyed that.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, there's still some things that are a little bit like, okay, this is a little, you know, written a little too conveniently, or like they purposely shoved this like thing into the game. I don't, do you know about it?
I have the game. I
Oh,
have
okay.
yet to. I don't know. I have this feeling about certain things, and then
Hmm.
I kind of act on that sometimes.
Hmm.
So with this game in particular, I have a feeling it's going to be because I've been playing so many open world or giant world things
Hmm.
that like Red Dead Redemption 2, Final
Right.
Fantasy 7 Remake did a fantastic job of making that world just enormous.
Hmm.
So big that they didn't tell us, but that was just like the small smidget part before you get to Midgar
Hmm.
for real, or out of Midgar or whatever. And I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
like that was I paid
Yeah.
how $80. Like, where's the rest of it? They're like, bro,
Parts two and three.
dude, come on, dog. I played
Yeah.
like when I was a child. This is how long ago, 20 years ago. It was like 3 discs. And it was
Yeah.
so many hours of
I think it was
existence
even
that
more
went.
too, right? Like five or something. I don't know.
So it was 3 discs for Final Fantasy 7. It was 4 discs for Final Fantasy 8.
Oh my goodness.
That's 7 discs in totality of wonder. So now, now of course they can compress a lot of this stuff into, just a file that is like it's digital. But I'm like, man, y'all could have said something, or like charged me $12 because I feel like I done paid $11, played like $7 worth of this because I know how much Final Fantasy 7 that there is.
Right.
We just now got to the edge of Midgard.
Mm.
Waiting to talk to Yuffie, Wu Tai. We've been talking about him. We ain't nowhere near. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like shit like that, man. I'm like, this was the first skirmish with Sephiroth. It's gonna be a minute. I
Yeah.
was like, man, I done waited my whole life to get the remake.
Right.
Hopefully, like they've had part two in the tuck. You know what I'm saying? They gotta,
Yeah.
tighten up some odds and ends and that sort of thing. But I don't need y'all like IGN's talking about. Yeah, so they're gonna begin the development of. I'm like, no, this is just where your reporting stops. Y'all don't know where they at in the damn development. Y'all ain't there, and hopefully by the time the PS5 launches, now we should see this sometime next year. This is
Mm.
me with no knowledge of game development, by the way, but that's just my hopes and dreams.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was so incredible. So I'm super excited for you to play it because it was incredible. It's beautiful. In fact, I'm
Nice.
gonna play it again because I just got a new TV and I got to see it on that. I got to see it on that because I had this little ass Best Buy TVs. Like
Hmm.
it was like a Dynex. I didn't get to experience the game, did I?
Right. Right.
Not with them graphics and not with that TV's damn capabilities. And I was like, man, I got to play this whole thing again anyway because it's
Mm.
about to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like 4 times the size and every damn thing.
Right.
But
Part of me's waiting for the PC version to come out at some point, so I could just use my computer to play it.
because of the power level, it's over nine
That too.
thousand.
That too.
It's over
Once
nine
I upgrade.
thousand.
Once I upgrade. Yeah.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. Like when I looked at my TV now, because you get accustomed to what you get accustomed to, like it
Hmm.
just becomes normal. I'm like, no, this is how games look on the PS4.
Right.
No, in the hell they don't, bro. When I fired up the Samsung, this damn 50-inch, I was like I'm telling you, bro. I was like, damn, I got to play that whole game again. And
Mm,
luckily, it's beautiful and it's amazing because I will. But the
nice.
Ghost of Tsushima, have you played that yet, sir?
No, I really want to. I really want to. I got
James
friends in the
Tang.
game too. Yeah, I know.
James Tang. If y'all didn't know, this is James Tang. I implore you. I implore you. Treat yourself. I'm still playing it. I started
Nice.
um a couple months ago, a few months ago. This is how massive the world is. This is how big the game is, by the way.
Hmm.
And also, this is how high the replay value is. Every time I fire this mug up, it's like the first time I played the game. Not that I'm
Nice.
still terrible.
Hmm.
I'm amazing. But
Hmm.
it just hits you the same way. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
It's like
Right.
it's beautiful.
Nice.
Some people are like, you you know the nerds like it wasn't entirely historically accurate. I'm like, the game though. The game. Did you enjoy the game? Okay. I will forgive them. I shall forgive them. But man, they tried. They tried. They tried, with the Akira Toriyama. Like they really tried. And
Nice.
I appreciate the effort. Thank you, Sucker Punch. Shout out to Sucker Punch. Yeah. You need to go in and grab that.
Yeah, I do. I do.
You
For
do,
sure.
sir. You do. I'm telling you. So
Um, but I guess what I did play this year, I feel like this year I wouldn't have. I can't say I played anything that blew me away,
okay.
game wise. I played a few, quite a few, just because, um, quarantine and stuff. I guess the ones that kind of stood out a bit were Hollow Knight. That was a very interesting kind of indie side scroller game, kind of
Okay.
Metroidvania style, but with a really unique art design and world. Um, very like bug-based world. Very interesting
Oh.
insect, yeah. But it's all like hand drawn animation and stuff, and tough combat. So that stood out. I liked it, but I wouldn't say I loved it. Um, I
I'm
played
thinking
Spider.
about Cold Stone Creamery now. I didn't, I liked it. I didn't love it. You know,
Yeah, it's there.
you gotta have it.
You have an experience, and then yeah. Um, I actually didn't like Spider-Man that much. I played that one. I feel like I love the wall swinging and the world and the graphics,
Okay.
but I think I hate too much repetition, and for me it got really repetitive with just like the fighting and the missions. Kind of just had to do the same thing over and over again, and I wasn't a huge fan of the combat system as well. So then I just kind of played it for the story.
I was watching a homie play Spider-Man, and I watched him play a few times,
Mhm.
and I felt like, and like I said, I get certain feelings about things, just certain instincts kick in. Like I'm like, I could see where this would go for me.
Mhm.
I saw the same shit happening over and over and over
Mhm.
and over again. But every time he went to web sling,
Mhm.
I was in.
Mhm.
But I realized that might be the only time I truly am exhilarated when I play this game, because what will happen and pale in comparison is what happens when I'm not web slinging and I'm just fighting these goofs, these
Yep.
fucking goof troops over and
Yep.
over again. The
Yep.
same little combo, because you only need that one little combo. The AI is not sophisticated. You can
Of
beat
course
their
not.
ass
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima, my guy, this is the pitch.
Nice.
The Ghost of Tsushima, my guy. As you get better at the game,
Mhm.
and I know that the audio listeners and anyone watching this shit when it drops and who've played the game, Ghost, can attest to this if you've been paying attention at all. The AI adapts and they get
Oh,
better with you.
nice.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
like they start giving you the hands, the feet, the paws in ways that you didn't expect them to. Like you thought you was just about, oh, okay, okay. We about to just steamroll. We about to roll right up through here like we did the other village, and we
Mhm.
about to handle business. We about to smack the Mongols up, and they ain't about to know what hit them. Nope, they got new tactics, new strategies, because what was working isn't. They saw what the hell you did to them boys over there. They about to make some adjustments.
Shoot.
I'm for real.
That's awesome.
Like it forces you to get into your bag. Like the shit that you learned along the way, you better
Mm-hmm.
use, you better
Mm.
employ. Yes. Like as a martial artist, I was like loving that. I'm like, oh yeah,
Mm.
strategy, tactics.
Yeah.
You know
Nice.
what I'm saying? Which is
That's awesome.
more specific than strategy. Like strategy is the like the overview of what you aim to do,
Mm.
and then the tactics are the adjustments.
Mm.
And I was like, damn, I got to do all of this all of the time. So
Mm.
you're always locked in. You stay in that zone, in that flow state, if you will.
Right.
So that's just a small part, man. Like the fighting system's so fluid,
Mm.
and that's just a tiny part. That's the smallest part of the pitch. And you was like,
Mm.
oh, so that's the pitch? I'm like, well, it can be, and you might be sold already. I ain't even got to talk about the graphics. I ain't even got to talk about the soundscape, the
Mm.
score. It's beautiful to look at all times too.
Right. No, I mean I've been sold on the game since like before release. I'm
Mm,
just need the money to pick it up right
I
now.
understand. I understand. I completely understand. The more you
Gotta make
know.
sure, I don't want to get to a choice between do I eat for a week or play a game. I just want to
You know what, man? Like,
make sure the survival's safe.
I completely understand, man. I remember, especially like when I first got here to LA,
Hmm.
I used to have to make these kinds of decisions here. I
Mm.
used I used to have to choose between a chicken breast, just one. It's depressing. A chicken breast or rice.
Oof.
Should I get the rice for the chicken breast now? Okay. This is filling. I might crave chicken after the chicken and need more things with it. I was putting shit back, bro. I was like, all right, but if I get the rice and the chicken so that there's a meal involved in this meal, I can't get the cheese.
Ah.
Do I need cheese? It's dairy. Do I need cheese? No, I don't need the cheese. The cheese will be a treat for when things go well. Then I'll come back and get the cheese. If I get an extra bag, I'll get the cheese. Do I get Boar's Head? And see, that's the good cheese. That's cheesy cheese. That's good American, right? Or do I get the Kroger shit, the Ralph shit, which is like night and day? I'm like, is this the same cheese? It's called
Is it milk? Is it
these are both
plastic?
American cheeses. How do they taste so radically different? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, we can do the Boar's Head, or we can do the shit that's like $3 a pound. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like 59 cents a pound. But I'm like, man, I ain't cheese at all. I might as well wait till I can get the Boar's Head. But I was putting that shit back, and I'm like, all right, no, I want dinner
The
tonight.
good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't just, you know what I'm saying? And then oatmeal, hella spaghetti. Cause spaghetti is that struggle food right there. Cause it's like it's hearty. It just sits on your stomach. The oatmeal's the same shit. I remember I did a national student exchange at CSUN when I was like a junior at the University of Louisville, me and a homie of mine. And like, it was in between like residual checks or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or things get tight at the end of the semester and shit. Or right before the semester starts, I should say.
Mm.
When them checks drop, like you start getting dumb shoes and shit,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Blowing your check. I'm like, bro, that's a fixed income. You better act like you've been somewhere before. But I used to have to I would take rice and I would put that rice into a bowl of ramen noodles. Not ramen. See, this is the problem I have with ramen. The ramen craze that took over LA like
Hmm.
4 years ago. You remember all them ramen noodle shops start popping up and shit? And
Hmm.
everybody was acting like that was all the rage.
Hmm.
Well, let me tell you what ramen reminds me of. Ramen noodles. Ramen noodles. I'm talking about that hood shit. I'm talking about when you can get a whole pallet, a whole industrial sized pallet of that shit for like 39 cents. And they're in them struggle packs, them space food packs. And then you got the chicken or the beef powder. Amazing, by the way. Some of the best seasonings, earthlings have ever created. I don't give a shit about the sodium intake, but you sprinkle that shit on there, and then right, you heat it up in a little pot that's nice and hot and it's ready to go. Then I'm like, man, but this needs to last me. So I was like, all right, I have rice. let me boil some rice. I put the rice in there. Now it's gourmet.
Mm.
Struggle gourmet.
Struggle gourmet.
Struggle gourmet. What kind of struggle gourmet meals have you concocted that make no sense at all but make perfect sense?
Man, I
This
feel
is
like,
actor shit, y'all. Like
right?
this is an artistic conversation.
I mean, I feel like I've been lucky enough to, I think, always make sure to eat right. I feel like, I mean, I guess, yeah, if I ever cooked for myself in college or like living as an adult later on, it was always the basics. I'd always keep it very basic. So like, yeah, I remember college was just like noodles, um, like a Prego sauce or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and like shrimp that I can't remember if I boiled it up with it or just microwave it or something, but then I just have shrimp on it as my protein. And so I'd keep things basic, but at least I feel like always still kind of like in a tasty, nutritious world. Um, and I also, yeah, I have family that always like make sure if there's anything you're eating, it's like if you need food, we're always here to just here's a little bit of extra cash or something to make sure you're eating. But then, yeah, I'd always make sure like I wouldn't. I've never been a big spender,
Mm-hmm. Same.
so I feel like when it came down to food, it was food was is and I guess always is my foundation for spending money on. So then like it's always about like when I dial back, the food is still gonna be there. So I feel like yeah, like right now I'm eating the same thing like every single day because I created like my diet just going through like okay, calories, macronutrients, and things I like to eat and whole foods. Boom, set that. Now I buy the exact same thing every week and cook and eat the exact same thing every day to make sure I keep money efficient and also hit all my macronutrients. Um,
Are y'all listening to this shit? Are y'all jotting this shit down? Huh? Because James Tang is going to show you motherfuckers how to live. I'm telling you, and especially in these unprecedented times. Pay attention, please. Now, James, this is something that we have in common. I have this ability as well to happily eat the same shit often, all the time. Now, there'll be different styles of food from different parts of the world. This ain't fancy shit, like, but I'll have nights. I'm like, all right, now I got to go to my Thai spot and get my Thai food. I'm probably getting the same shit. It's going to be two things: Penang curry, yellow curry,
mm,
curry with chicken, medium spice, perfect, and perfect, right? And or I'm going to get the spicy fried rice, mild with chicken because they don't understand mild very much. If you get medium, that shit is ultra. The difference between mild and medium is hilarious. It's painful even. If you do medium and it's not curry, it's over. It's over.
right.
You burning the whole first layer of your tongue off. That shit. And a
That
bit,
probably also means it's a solid Thai place then.
yeah,
If they
man.
got Thai spicy then.
I'm telling you, brother. It's I don't skimp when it comes to my Thai food whatsoever. Like I'll travel to get to the Thai spot I want. Now I just so happen to be blessed with exotic Thais right around the corner in
Nice.
Burbank. Are you still on the side? Or?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So exotic Thais right there next to that ice cream joint or whatever's over there now, in that plaza next to Popeyes on San Fernando,
Right. Okay, yeah, yeah.
across from Sprouts, where I ran into you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, right across the street.
Yeah.
So over there now, if I'm on the other side, if I'm near like Studio City,
Hmm.
which is rarely nowadays because I don't leave the crib
Hmm.
unless I'm doing physical therapy, uh, there is a joint called Now on Nine.
Mm.
Ah, you just learned something new. So now they shut down until December. This is what
Hmm.
they say. But I get close to the people that work at my Thai places,
Hmm.
and that's just how they are. They're just super, super, super cool, super
Yeah.
nice, pleasant people, in general. So it's always like family. Like it's really cool.
Hmm.
And so they were like, "Hey, T, Like I just call and they just know one, they know the voice and they know what I'm asked for, and so
Mm-hmm.
it's just like it's already done.
Mm-hmm.
But they were like, "Hey, I'm just letting you know it's a little slow here right now because of the 19. So we're going to shut things down until December when things improve some." And I'm like, "Okay, but y'all got to make sure you'll come back. You can't do me
Mm-hmm.
like this. You can't leave me out here." You know what I'm saying? And so I had to find a new spot. And so Exotic Thai is the spot over here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But now on nine has this legendary. What makes now on nine unique is that yellow curry
Mm,
for sure. So when they
nice.
come back, that's something to look forward to is that yellow curry because it's something
Sweet.
else. Then I found another joint. I can't pronounce the name of this joint, but they are on Oxnard.
Mm-hmm.
And let me see if I can find the name of this joint because you need to know because they're open now and they have this yellow curry rivals. Do you even like curry? If not, I'm gonna shut up about curry.
I'm okay with curry.
Hmm.
It's not my first choice.
I'm like, I'm like, he has not a glint in his eyes as I explain these things. Uh,
I'm
it's
cool with
it's
curry.
it's amazing. I'll send it to you. But
Yeah, yeah,
should you ever have a hankering? So,
yeah. Yeah.
but
I
I
mean,
said
yeah, I grew up in Thailand, so there's always gonna be a hankering once in a while.
that's true. You're like, yeah, man, you don't understand. This was my raviolis, my Chef Boyardee. Like this is just what we ate every day. I know you're amazed.
No, no, it's always good to have good Thai food,
Oh
and
my god.
LA has one of the biggest Thai populations outside of Thailand. So
Mm,
the Thai food out here, depending where you are, like is usually really, really legit.
okay. I had to get that cosign from you. You know I had to
Yeah.
get that cosign from you. Come on.
I
So
mean, I don't know. Yeah, obviously I don't know if they're still doing it during COVID, but like there's the Thai temple up north of like North Hollywood, like I think past Van Nuys, like near the 170.
north of the wall where the wildlings roam.
Yeah,
Okay.
north of the wall. Yeah, northern San Fernando Valley. There's a Thai temple, and they did like I think just like a weekend, like a Sunday market where they would just sell like homemade food.
Mm.
And so that I still haven't hit that up, but and I don't know if they're still going on right now, but that was one of those places that you could also just go and like pick up like the real like cream of the crop homemade Thai food.
That real deal Holyfield.
Yeah.
Mm. I'm telling you, I went to this one joint, man. I was just like,
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
I was like, okay, you guys trying, you did your best. Like you gave us what you think that we would want in Thai food instead of just from your kitchen,
Hmm.
from your heart, what you
Hmm.
know and love. You know what I'm saying? Chinese spots like to do that too.
Hmm.
Especially, like even more so. It's like, let's give these goofy Americans what they believe to be Chinese food. You know what I'm saying? But like someone with any modicum of a sophisticated palate is like, wait, I've had good Chinese food before. This doesn't seem to be it. You gave me a Mickey D's Happy Meal. You know what I'm saying?
One step up from Panda Express, basically.
Yeah, man. Basically Panda Express. I'm like, damn, man, y'all could have given me the Panda Express discount then. If you ain't gonna give me the full Szechuan. Shit. But I say all of that to say, man, I know audio listeners, this was super roundabout to make the point that I'm about to make is that, yeah, like if I got catfish, I'm a country boy. I don't know if y'all knew by listening. Uh, Catfish stays in the tuck. Sweet potato fries stay in the tuck because the sweet potatoes and the fries, which are both awesome at the same time. Um, I have ranch powder for seasoning of various things. You can put that shit on everything.
Nice.
Um, I'm putting y'all on game. Jot this shit down. I'm telling you. Um, and it was spaghetti a lot, but it's like you got to keep the grains and the wheat and all that shit down to a bare minimum because we ain't even really designed to eat that shit in large quantities whatsoever, and that's why we we got a lot of weird shit and weird allergies and shit as organisms now that we never had when we were foragers. It was when we stopped foraging and we decided to just live alongside our food that we started getting fucked up by the food. Um, but that's another bag. That's for another episode. Uh, so I keep it simple, right? a lot of protein, high protein yield, um, below this, a lot of sweet potatoes because it's super high in a lot of things. Moringa, fresh squeezed juice every day, a shit ton of it. A lot of ginger and turmeric every single day. It's the same thing. It's such a habit that this is just the lifestyle. Like I actually crave mainly this shit to where I'll have a burger night for sure because I'm so austere when it comes to my diet in general. Because when you train this way, when you like when you go hard or when you demand a lot of your body, well, you need the energy systems to be on point. To do that, you got to be eating right. You got to rest, and then you got to recover. You know what I'm saying? Only the right foods are going to do that shit. And so I'm like, you hit the nail on the head when it comes to having that kind of discipline. Like I just eat the same shit all the time, but I have the kind of personality. I like that familiarity because it takes me to a similar place every time I eat it, mentally, even spiritually. I'm like, nah, catfish reminds me of my fam and everything else, and fishing. Those are all things I like, hunting and things like that. And then spaghetti kind of fell by the wayside because it's like, no, I don't need to do all of that per se. Occasionally, I'll throw down to make a pot for an army. Just me though. Put some minced chicken in there, season that up. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of garlic, that sort of thing. Yeah, but it's the same shit all the time. And then I'll go to Shake Shack. You know what I'm saying? Get a double cheeseburger. You know, once a month, twice a month, something like that, just to get that fixing and be cool. Just be
Gotta treat
cool.
yourself.
You gotta treat yourself, man. Yeah, I'm not one of them cats. Plus, I fast all day, every day. So by the time I need nutrients, my body's absorbing everything and putting it to work. Like it's using everything. Because when you spend a whole day burning calories, just burning, and then usually you don't have enough time to overeat because you don't have the space either, the capacity um, to overeat when you fast for as long as you do, and then you train on top of that, so you're at a deficit. So even when you surpass the deficit, you're probably going to barely get, you know what I'm saying, 2,500, something like that. Anyhow, so it's like fit as a fiddle. But that's pretty much the same thing I do, man. I just eat the same shit all the time because it's easy. You know what you're about to spend. You know what it's going to cost.
Yep.
You know how it's going to taste.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, cool, cool. I'm gonna let my Thai people chef it up for me tonight. Cool. And then Sprouts, man, I'm telling you, they basically do meal prep. Go to that little section over there on the right side, and that's to the deli. Then you've got the stuff like you have sweet potatoes with gravy sitting there and a nice ice cream scoop of an amount, so it's nothing crazy. And then you have the string beans in there. You have the butternut squash. Is that what the fuck it's called? Squash.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, the yellow
Butternut
shit.
squash.
Butternut squash. So you got a little squash in there. You got a couple of red pepper pieces in there. So you're getting your colors. You're getting all the colors because certain vitamins are only in the certain colors. So you're getting your dark leafies. And then roast. You're getting this pot roast, this beef roast that's
Mm.
been sitting there for I don't know how long, but it's like some homemade type shit.
Mm.
But they're doing it. And I'm like, man,
Mm.
and it's like $6. I'm like, let me scoop that up. Jot this shit down, audio listeners. I keep telling y'all, jot this down. I'm telling you, showing you the way. And it's like $6, depending on how much it weighs at the most. It's like $8 if they put a whole goo gob of like sweet potato or meat in there. You know what I'm saying? And then that's the meal prep, and then it's cool. You just scoop a couple of those up. You spent $10. You know what I'm saying? And then like the produce is what I spend most of my money on is food. It's like same as you. Like I'll make a big purchase, but it's some shit that was an investment. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I'm gonna have this for years.
Mm.
So I'll happily spend some like money of something of that quality or caliber, and then like everything else is just food all the time.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's where the crux of the expenditures go
Yeah.
toward for real.
There's a kind of like financial, I don't know if you could call him a guru, but he's just like an influencer, I guess, financial influencer that I like. Name's Ramit Sethi, and he has a concept that I really like called money dials. And it's like there's just certain things in your life that you would spend that money on, and it's a dial, and it's like
Mm,
if you want to feel, you work so hard to spend or earn the money, like why not spend it on stuff to make yourself feel good? But
Hmm.
just make sure it's like one or two dials. So like some people, shoes are their dial, so they'll turn it all the way up. Drop like $300 for a pair of Jordans or something, and that's fine as long as they're not also spending it on, five-star class dining as well as like the most expensive video game cons or computer on top of like vacations and stuff. Like then that will just, blow your bank account. But then it's like figuring out what your dials are and knowing, cool, I'll turn these up, but everything else stays low
Mm.
because at the moment it's not necessary, or it's just not even necessary in your own lifestyle. So that's a concept I really like that he kind of brought up.
That's amazing. I hope y'all jotting this shit down. I really do. Because that was the more you know segment. Indeed. There's I'm gonna need you to send me that gentleman's name spelled out so
Yeah,
I
for
can
sure.
look that cat up because it's I find myself doing that where I'm not I love shoes and that sort of thing, but I'm never the one to go, oh, the new J's are out, the Bread 13s. I got to get those. So I'm scouring GOAT. I'm on GOAT. I'm on, this shoe site. I'm on Zappos. You know what I'm saying? I got a homie. He works at the shoe store. Hopefully one falls off the back of a truck at a reasonable
Hmm.
price. That way I'm only spending about 180, 185. I'm thinking about where that could go. Instead, for me, it's like usually some audio equipment, some audio visual shit, something relating to what I'm trying to build,
Mm.
or some kung fu stuff, training equipment. That's where it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really where it goes, and it's pretty simple. And all of the rest of it is food. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's like my dials would probably be tech, and not all the tech, specific tech,
Yeah.
right? Just the things that I use, like the podcasting equipment. That's where it goes.
Hmm.
The podcast stuff, and then lights. You know what I'm saying? Soft boxes for the auditions. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Like that's where it goes. And I happily, to your point, I'll happily spend that money on that stuff.
Hmm.
Not like I don't even think about that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. And I used to have, I used to enjoy a bunch of clothes and shoes and shit, but now I've become utilitarian in the way that I dress.
Mm.
Like it's more so like a uniform. Not the same shit every day, but it's a nice template. It's like a base, and then I
Hmm.
build on that
Yeah.
with things that I also have as a base. I'm like a Nintendo me. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Need a shirt. Okay, now that you
Yeah.
got your shirt, you know what I'm
Same.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a creative player when it comes to that shit, man. I'm not
Yeah.
spending like $100 on the damn t-shirt because it's rag and bone. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Absolutely.
But for other people that do wanna, it's like more power to you as long as like you don't do go crazy in other aspects of your life as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because I
It's pretty
guess that would
cool.
probably exhibit what, just a lack of control of yourself.
Yeah.
If you're just
That
like,
would be.
oh, like your money's just burning a hole in your pocket, you got to spend it on
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's interesting.
Mm.
There's a guy, a person that I like to. He's sort of a muse. Um, Naval Ravikant. Have you heard of him?
Yeah. He I heard him on Tim Ferriss show.
He is interesting.
Yeah.
He's very interesting. Like my mind was blown when I first heard him. I was like, where do I get in touch? Like are you on Instagram? Twitter? I don't even mess with Twitter. But
He is on Twitter though. That's where I
he is.
thought that he was.
That's where he lives. That's the weird part. He's on the thing I'm like the most. I'm like, man, I ain't fucking with Twitter. And he's like, man, that's where I do my tweet storms. That's where he does his storms and shit. But he has a podcast. Like he don't really be podcasting when he podcasts, but he's just like, here's what I said on Twitter.
Mm.
I'll say it out loud. And then that's the episode. It'd be like 12 minutes.
Nice.
And him breaking it down.
Interesting. Just
nice.
repackaging content. You
He's
don't
just
have to keep
repackaging.
making it. That's brilliant.
Yeah. And if he can monetize both of those things, it's like, do that.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very minimal, man. Yeah, man. So what you got going on, man? What you got on the horizon? What are you
Um,
looking forward to?
I mean, I'm looking forward to building and growing my stream. I really feel like it's something that finally has clicked for me when it comes down to like who I am, what I'm into, and what I can potentially make into like my online brand with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very excited about that. One of the things is, yeah, I'm planning to stream horror games through October
Okay.
because of, Halloween. So I'm also kind of excited to do that because like I feel like especially when with people watching, like I don't know, horror games I feel like don't hit me as hard as other people do. Other people, my friend, I mean, he's like you talk too loudly to my friend and he like freaks out, which is hilarious because he's also like a stunty former Power Ranger who like, does backflips and stuff and it's just like, dude, like really you? Like you of all people? Like come on. Um so then I feel like it's like, all right, cool. Like well, I'm like being okay with the horror game, so why not try to go amp it up a little bit, play some more Resident Evil or something during Halloween or October. So yeah, looking forward to do that.
What have you been doing to you in particular,
Hmm.
as you've learned along the way of streaming on Twitch?
Hmm.
What techniques have you employed to grow your following?
So what I've been learning is the ironic thing about Twitch is that you, especially nowadays, is you can't grow on Twitch as effectively as other mediums.
Hmm.
And so the people I've been watching have been talking about how it's actually better to use things with better algorithms like, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, just other forms of social media to start building your following and find ways to kind of funnel them to your Twitch
Hmm.
and understanding the different values that these mediums have and where Twitch kind of falls um, within that. Because Twitch being a live platform, a live streaming thing, that's kind of like letting your audience get to know who you are in a personal way versus like the short form content like TikTok and um, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube's a little bit longer, but like they kind of serve different purposes. But like it's kind of just trying to catch like the people that are truly interested in you and what you have to say and what you bring to the table and kind of get them over to the Twitch as well.
Hmm. Was timing ever a factor? Like, okay, man, I'm on the West Coast, so motherfuckers is straight up asleep the rest of the world over if I start streaming at 10. Or is it like, well, by the time the big dogs get done, they release their people, and then
Hmm.
their people are not ready to go to sleep yet.
Hmm.
And then I get to rise to the top, and just be visible at all because I'm still up and I'm still streaming.
Right. Yeah, a little bit. Because we used to I think we started out just doing nighttime streams, like
Hmm.
7 to 10 or something. And I just did a little bit of research. There's a site called Sully Gnome. I can put it in chat because,
And then put
which,
Homeboy's name in there too. I
yeah,
forgot about this feature.
yeah.
Shout out to Zoom.
So that gives Twitch analytics. And so just through using that, I just checked that, like, for West Coasters like us, the times where the peaks of Twitch that are peaking are actually roughly between our like 10 a.m. and 2 p.m.
Okay, I got the time for that shit now. Quarantined and whatnot.
Right. But I think it's also down to kind of who you want to target as well and also your own schedule and your own preferences too. Because
uh,
as the viewers peak, so do the people streaming. And so that
okay.
just kind of creates more what's it called? More competition as well. And there still is the strategy that I've learned of like choosing certain games that are popular enough that if you can stream with your the like current viewership you have, it can actually push you to like the top of that game's browse category. So like
Okay.
if someone is interested in a specific game, they can click that game, and then if you have enough viewers and more than the others streaming that game, then it'll push you closer to the top. So then they can just kind of take a look at that. Though it
Okay.
seems like Twitch is also changing up their algorithm a little bit, so it can favor like not all the big people. But if someone just switches it to like browse by most current most viewers, then yeah, if you choose a game that's definitely not as popular, yeah, and stream at the right time, then it could push you to the top so that someone that's just randomly interested in a game could just click it and pop in.
That's I'm gonna pick your brain about this some more. Just throughout even out outside of this podcast. But
Hmm.
so for instance, I tend to play games that aren't heavily like this dude Das Medi or whatever his name is.
Hmm.
He's like the king of like GTA 5
Mm.
is all that he plays. And I'm like, damn, maybe he loves it that much, but he's stuck in a world of millions of people who want to see him play one damn thing all the time.
Yeah, sure.
And then I have some homies at Boss Level 8. Shout out to Boss Level 8. They are variety streamers.
Hmm.
So it's literally them that you're going to see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're playing mystery games like Carmen San Diego, weird computer shit,
Right. Yeah.
where it's like find the antique locket
Hmm.
that Jane Middendorf left in the cupboard in 1841.
Right.
And you're looking around like, okay, all right. So the audience is literally helping them play the game, which is
Hmm.
dope.
Hmm. Yeah.
Or they're playing Paper Mario the other damn night. Like they're playing
Nice.
Paper Mario. So they're very nostalgic too. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like nerdy nerds, like where you're like, oh wow, they brought out Banjo and Kazooie. All right,
Mm.
I'm here for this. You don't know
Yeah.
what they're gonna do, right?
Yeah.
So that's their thing. And then I tend to play shit like UFC 4. No
Hmm.
one's ever really checking for that except for martial artists and fight fans.
Hmm.
And apparently, it's just not a whole lot of them compared
Hmm.
to people who would rather watch people play Call of Duty,
Hmm.
which is perfect. Especially, I'm thinking, you tell me, you seem to be more experienced in this realm. When you start out, it's like, man, you ain't got to compete with motherfuckers playing uh, PUBG. Let them do that. Like those guys who are super dope at it are going to get on them people versus you do the thing that you love to do. Play Ghost of
Hmm.
Tsushima. You do it incredibly well and you
Hmm.
have a blast playing it. They're going to
Hmm.
feel that energy and just stay. Fix your overlay, note to self, because that shit is like my face is up there, but I forgot that I set the overlay to where the little viewing box is over here and I never
Hmm.
switched it because I switched my face because it ought to be in the upper left because it's out of the way.
Mm.
When I had it in the lower right, I noticed it's difficult to navigate through your menus and games, and they tend to put
Hmm.
vital information like your guns and Apex. They're in the
Hmm.
lower right. Now
Hmm.
there's my stupid face. So what I did was I moved that shit up here to the upper left, but I never
Mm.
adjusted the overlay. Homie hit me up last night. He's like, "Hey, I'm watching the stream. Fix your fucking overlay. It looks beautiful, but the box is over here and you're over there." I was like, "Oh, dog, thanks." No wonder motherfuckers just like not camped out watching me play this shit. I'm like, I'm giving y'all premium content. What the fuck y'all doing? Well, he was like, it's a little distracting because it's beautiful and you're doing great. It's just distracting to have that box right there. And I'm like, oh, okay. When you're trying to introduce someone to your shop, it's like fix the storefront up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, man, he did that shit last night. I was like, man, thanks so much for just telling me straight up right here and there. I need to know because what doesn't pop up is on my side. I didn't realize
Mm.
this. The overlays don't pop up on your side. Well, on my side, I can't see my overlay.
Mm.
It's only the viewers. They can see everything. I didn't think my shit was working. And he's like,
Mm.
no, it works great. It's just backwards. I was like, all right, cuz yeah, I'm gonna switch it up. So I'm asking you, so for instance,
Mm.
at the highest UFC 4, it'll be like 790 people watching.
Mm.
But the biggest viewership of the dude playing will be like Well, I guess it wasn't a heavy day, but he had like 26 people watching.
Hmm.
That was it.
Hmm.
I'm like, I could get those for
Yeah,
sure if
yeah.
I was just streaming when he does that sort of thing. Not that I'm competing with him at all, but I was just like,
Hmm.
just to get going. Would you advise fucking with a game that's like that? One, I already love it. Two, I know what the fuck I'm talking about over there.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah,
three, um, we be on our performative shit anyway. Like this is what we do.
yeah. It's just like it's finding your niche, finding
Mm-hmm.
what you like and what makes you passionate, and bringing your flavor to it, and figuring out what value you can give to your viewers and your community.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, sometimes that's the thing is, yeah, if you're not looking for people that are just look that are browsing Twitch, even though there are people already on Twitch, so that it's easier to just bring them over versus like someone from Instagram to get them to who doesn't have a Twitch account to sign up for that and then start following you, which
Mm-hmm.
still can happen, but it probably is easier. Yeah, if someone is a UFC fan and they browse the game and they see your awesome looking overlay and they're interested enough to click in and be like, okay, what's this guy about? And then you bring your flavor to it that is um, uniquely you and also brings value to whoever's watching, and they want to hang out and they want to learn from you, then that's more power to you.
Mm.
So yeah, definitely, definitely, and yeah, especially if you prefer to play UFC over something like Call of Duty or something, where Call of Duty is a super popular game, but it's also extremely oversaturated.
Right.
Because yeah, there's like millions of people watching it, but then there's also thousands of channels streaming it.
Because I've
So then,
noticed. Good.
oh, so then it just breaks down to like the average viewers per channel for Call of Duty would then be like 14
Mm-hmm.
versus like yeah, you could get up to 26 or something on UFC, even though the total amount of viewers are less. But it's just like it's just the quantity versus quality.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, it's way easier for me to like. I'd rather get 26 people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because then I have 26 people, and then if someone sees that you have now 37 people, um, they're more likely to stop.
Hmm. Yeah.
Versus, yeah, you got two. It's probably your mom and your dad, and then you're doing your best. That's cute.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they might slide over it, but if someone has, 15 people, it's like, okay, I think the people stopped here for a reason. I think I'll
Yeah.
stop and just have a look.
Social proof.
Social
Social proof.
proof.
Gotta
Okay.
leverage it. Yeah.
Credibility and credence. And so
Hmm.
I've noticed that like whenever I would stream, we have a little earthquakey quakey. I'm not sure if you felt that. Just to
Another earthquake?
yeah, unless someone's upstairs walking like Godzilla and
Maybe so. I didn't feel
Ganzuki.
anything.
You didn't feel anything?
No.
Okay, maybe I'm feeling stuff. Anyhow, yeah, like I noticed, like like when I would stream like Final Fantasy 8 on
Hmm.
like the PS4,
Hmm.
people would just be chilling, like would just
Hmm.
like I could be five people, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I'm like, no, that's great because that's all that you need at a time. And then, of those two, stay, follow, subscribe, whatever. That's dope. Keep doing that, rinse and repeat. You're just getting your numbers up steadily. At that point, people just camp out now because you have something going on.
Hmm.
Like you know what I'm saying. And so, social proof. I'm gonna let that just echo in my head. Just the social proof right there. You know, something. It's like a wreck on the highway or some shit. It's like, oh, okay, let me slow down and see what's going on. It's just the population.
Yeah.
So that's cool, brother. That's cool, man. I really appreciate you doing this, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Like straight up, man. We'll have to do this shit again.
Yeah.
You know.
Sorry, I kept forgetting. It's been a busy
Hey,
week. It's been a busy week.
yo, man. It was nothing but a busy week, man. You never know what anyone's experience is like outside of yours. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But you were like, hey, man, I just dropped the ball on that one. I was like, man, I appreciate your honesty and candor. Let's get it. Let's get it in. What are your socials, my guy? Where can they find you
Um,
at?
James the Tang for basically all the big ones. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. I have Facebook, a public Facebook page, but I don't use it. Like, I don't really know why.
Facebook.
Yeah. Also, Facebook's like destroying democracy in the world as we know it. So we should probably move away from it
as
as
well as
best as we
people's
can.
lives, or
Yeah,
it doesn't allow people to live them because they live
yeah,
them virtually. It's a
mm,
gross.
mm.
I'm telling you, my brother James, the Tang. You can find him on all platforms, especially Instagram. This man is a brilliantly talented actor. Actually, let's walk this shit back real quick. We met each other how? James the Tang.
We met on set. Um, I guess that was the first job I booked with my then manager, I
Okay.
think. And it was for what they were trying to call, what was it? It was like they call it TBS Digital now, but they were trying to create this the Heckler channel, I guess, or whatever,
Oh
for a
my gosh.
TBS YouTube channel called the Heckler or whatever.
They
But
tried. Yeah.
they
It,
tried,
it
yeah.
was a TBS. Yeah, it was a TBS show, their digital platform. Is that still? I don't even know if it's if it
It should
ever
still be
really.
up on YouTube. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. It was TBS digital.
There's I think it ended up the title is just called Dating Fail.
Okay. So if you guys, listeners out there, open up TBS Dating Fail, you will see up front and center the brilliantly talented James the Tang. James
Yeah,
Tang. So
Dating
that's where
Fail
we
on
met.
TBS
We
Digital.
had a
Yeah.
ball. Like we were shooting in some log cabin,
Yeah,
like
Log Cabin Bar.
log
I don't
cabin
even
bar
remember where that was.
with a bear in the corner. I feel like it was
Yeah.
in Glendale somewhere though.
That, yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
You
I mean, I
right?
feel like if I just look in my email for the call sheet, we could find the address to that
Because
place.
we met at a house in Glendale where they had everything set up, and then we
Yeah,
moved from
yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, because they
And I
just had
remember,
wardrobe and shit there at the
yeah,
crib,
that's right, yeah,
and then we moseyed on over to that bar.
yeah.
I
Because I
have
remember,
no sense of direction. I do,
I mean, they
but
also put us in a
that thing.
van and like just, I wasn't paying attention and we just, the van just drives around and suddenly you're there. Oh yeah, here, cool.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I have great sense of direction, but for that event, I feel like we was in a kidnap van and we got let out,
Yeah,
and then we were just there.
act.
Yeah. Now,
Okay, okay.
now act okay. Is this good? Is this okay? Love me. Oh my gosh. We gotta do this again, man, because we got all
Yeah,
kind of
for
games
sure.
and shit. Plus, I gotta follow up with you
Mhm.
once you procure Final Fantasy VII or the Ghost of
That's
Tsushima.
right. That's right.
Probably do the Ghost first.
Probably do that first.
Yeah, okay. So we're gonna do the Ghost of Tsushima first, and we're gonna break it down. We're gonna break it down.
Yeah,
We'll have a rhythm. It'll be good.
sounds good.
All right, man. James the Tang. Much love, my brother. Thank you so much for being you, just being
Thanks
who
for
you
having
are,
me.
man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Man, it's been a pleasure, man. And we'll wrap soon. All right. Send
For
those
sure.
tings, send those peoples to my the little chat, my phone, whatever.
Yeah, put it to the chat. I'll send it to your phone as well.
Okay. I appreciate it, brother. Have a great one, okay? And we'll talk
You
soon.
too. Take care, man.
Peace, brother.
Later.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was another episode. You'll probably miss the first part of it unless I get the audio from the Zoom itself, because man, I'm telling y'all what, I forgot to hit record on the podcast on my damn road. The roadcaster was hilarious. Anyways, hey, y'all can find me on all right, the name of the podcast is I Mean As You Know, but you can find me on Instagram at Monkey D Travanti, like Monkey D Luffy, but Monkey D Travanti. I too am a straw hat pirate. Um, and I'm telling you, man, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Plenty more to come. I missed y'all, man. I miss doing this shit, man. You know, shout out to Daniel Hill. Shout out to Ernest Thomas. Shout out to everybody, man. Rest in power, Breonna Taylor, and everyone who's fallen. George Floyd, everyone who's fallen. I just pray for the healing, man. There's just a lot of healing that has to be done. A lot of work that has to be done. Put boots to the ground. Put minds to the matter. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. I'm sending love and light, man. For real. Everybody stay focused. Stay focused and understand what's truly essential, what's really important. Focus on the fundamentals, be it communication, be it whatever it's going to be. Just do it with peerless technique. Train that way. And hopefully it'll end up being that way. You know what I'm saying? So much love and shout out to my brother, James the Tang, fantastic guest. That's the homie right there. And man, I'm gonna be on Twitch here in a little bit. Same name, Monkey D Travanti. So subscribe now, follow now. It's quite the show. You know how I get, how I can be. And shout out to Conway the Machine. His new album is out. It's incredible. What's playing now is Jesus Crisis. Conway the Machine. From the king to a god, man. From king to a god, man. That shit is too ill. Griselda. And until next time, y'all, Monkey D Travanti. If you got any questions, you want to send some if you want to send some I don't know, content, questions, inquiries, what have you, send that to imeanpod@gmail.com. IMEAN pod POD at gmail.com. imeanpod@gmail.com, man. Holla at me there. Holla at me on Instagram at Monkey D Travanti. Show me some love. I love y'all. All right, peace. Focus on and practice on loving each other, man. We need that. That's what we need. All right, peace out.